As I said, they knew it requires a lot of sacrifice to win this game. And then I think the boys did like the sacrifice, the whole team, to be honest, because one of the most important thing was how they moved together and then coming back. If you watch closely, most of the second balls, we won it. And then this is something, most of the games, most of goals is being scored by second ball. And then the team was defending low and up together. And then the two midfielders, Caleb did really well. And then Elisha as well, they all drop back and then always make sure they are supporting the back line and then picking up the second ball. I think they did actually make the sacrifice. We all know Jordan didn't have a good game, and then which happens sometimes in the game. We are all footballers, and then we've been through that. Sometimes you don't have a good start, but sometimes getting some fouls for us, slowing the game down, because as you said at the beginning of the game, in the first half, we were actually under pressure, and then sometimes when the team is under pressure, you need to slow things down to get everyone start to communicate more, get everyone to start concentrating even more, because when you are under pressure, it's more likely that basic mistakes can actually lead to goal. When a team is under pressure, you see like a throw-in, the goal kick, like the fouls, you need to take longer to take them. And then to kill the tempo of the other team and then make sure you get your team back to their feet, and then now you can start to progress more.
When you play non-official game, it's completely different. The games become more street games, no friendlies. A street game that are not friendly. And always it's difficult, VAR, no VAR, you know. I think it's no doubt that, okay, the referees are top level. The referees will be in the VAR top level. And I think, I have no doubt. For me, it's not never was, but it's not going to be for me to put in doubt nothing. They are great professional, and happen what happen, always difficult task for them, you know.
If you ask me a few months ago, probably I said that I don't expect leaving Chelsea because I was very happy there. My family was very happy. But in life, in football, sometimes you need to change, and sometimes you start new chapters that you don't expect. And it's not easy leaving Chelsea because I lived there for years. I think I arrived as probably young as a kid and I dream to win trophies, and Chelsea give me this. I can play champions. That is another dream that you have when you start to play football, and I'm very grateful to what Chelsea give me. But I think the step that I go now to Real Madrid is better, is bigger. I think I can come back to my country. I play Real Madrid. It's one of the best clubs in the world, and I think is a step that I need to do, a decision that is not easy, but I think was the right decision for me as for my family.
I think the right word is exactly that we are growing up as a team. We are playing a different system. The methods that we are using to attack are built to match the profile of our players, playing vertical football with full speed actions. But step by step, we will improve. The players they will adjust to each other. For me, it's important that the players understand the game, and people needs to understand the game.
When I came here, the vision was more than just this World Cup. Obviously, a big carrot was the fact that it was a home World Cup, but it was to change the sport in the country, to drive interest, to drive expertise, to educate, and to create a pathway for the future, and to create an identity for what Canadian soccer could be. You can say and do all the right things, but you need moments like today. You need moments where everybody remembers what happened. Like no one will forget this, and no Canadian will forget this day. And I said afterwards to Matt, there'll be 40 million people that said they were here.
Shakira, we are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready too!
You knew from the day you were born that here in this place you belong. You've been this brave all along. What broke you once made you strong.
Die, die, equal, darling, darling, let's go. Die, die, equal, darling, darling, let's go.
Come follow your desire. When there's a will, there's a way. You're the owner of that fire. No one can take it away.
Sweat and blood to write your story. That is how you paved the way. You're about to reach the glory. Only one step away.
All the highs and lows, all the tears and the pain.
You've been there through it all, been through it all. Just do it again. Now you got to believe, I believe. Cause you know what it takes to believe in my dream. At the top of your game. Feel it, got everything you need it. Now bring it like you mean it. Just like you mean it. Dale, olvida lo que vale. Juega como tú sabes. Como tú sabes. And it's just contagious, you know.
And it never fails.
No, no,
No one's getting tired.
I know.
You got that fire.
Hey,
cha ya. Bye bye aliwe ina ya dilmono. Bakali ka yeso ina ya so ma wane pe. Bye bye aliwe ina ya dilmono. Bakali ka yeso ina ya so ma wane pe. Ganu dende, lasta so dende. 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 Yeita mubi obaba no bete ne samia. Ya chaga mubi obaba no bete ne samia. Yeita mubi obaba no bete ne samia. Ya chaga. I need Jan in the money. I say, Kofi the money. I say, Jan in the money. Winter in the money. Stevie Nappy and the money. Robert Mesa, goalkeeper number 1. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Bialo. Yeita, Mubi of Papa, but the Samia. Ya chaga mubi obaba no bate ne samia. Yeita mubi obaba no bate ne samia. Ya chaga. Abedi ne mane, I need Jan in the money. I say Kofi ne mane, I say Jan in the money. In the money, Stevie Nappy and the money. Robert Mesa, goalkeeper number 1. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Biala. The boy, Beshe, Yesulo Bialo. Yeita, Mubi Obaba no bate ne samia. Ya chaja mubi obaba no bate ne samia. Mubi obaba, Yeita mubi obaba. Mubi obaba, ya chaja mubi obaba no bate ne samia. Mubi obaba, Yeita mubi obaba so bate ne samia. Mubi obaba, ya chaja.
Shakira, we are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are
was adjudged the best robotic student at Right to Dreams, showed up at the FIFA World Cup, a global stage for ultimate stars, a stage meant for talents to display what they've got on this global stage. And he announced himself with aplomb, securing all maximum points for Ghana. Won the ball in midfield, passed it on to Thomas Partey. That's Antoine Semenyo rather. Yeah. He laid it on to Brendan Thomas Asante. And guess who went there to finish? It was Caleb Renchi once again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Link on Joy 99.7, your ultimate station. And from now all the way up till 2 p.m., we will be talking about Ghana's victory over Panama. We'll also be touching on the success or otherwise of other African nations participating in the FIFA World Cup. I am Muftawu Nabila Abdulai. Just to give you an idea of what transpired at the BMO Stadium in Toronto on Wednesday when Ghana lined up against Panama.
Yerenchi, Semenyo, poking it forward for Brandon Thomas Asante, who skips away from cornerback. Ghana could be in business. They are right at the end.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Yitama, Yachayama, Yitama.
Kofi Kinata says Yanshirobia, and indeed the boys lined up against Panama, and they did show that they were not afraid of anyone on the pitch as they secured first 3 points. The second time Ghana was winning its opening game in its history of participating in the FIFA World Cup. 2-6 and a 2-0 defeat against Italy. 2010, Ghana won 1-0 against Serbia. And in 2014, Ghana lost 2-1 to the USA. 2022, Ghana lost 3-2 to Portugal. So this was the second time Ghana was winning its opening game in the FIFA World Cup. We'll be joined by former Ghana internationals, Augustine Ahimfo and Emmanuel Ajimambedu, and also FIFA high performance analyst Faisal Chipsa, who will also be joining us here. But in studio is Samuel Ekoapia, who is seated next to me for us to have this very conversation. As I mentioned, we will not forget about the fact that other African nations are already in action. Cote d'Ivoire will be up against Germany later today. We'll have that game on Joy Prime, and we'll have Laia Kinsey, Christopher Nimley, and David Akam join us as panelists for that game. Don't forget, the build-up will start at 16:30 GMT. That's 6:30 p.m. Join us as we bring you an unrivaled perspective of this contest. It's a contest between two nations who have all picked maximum points on match day 1 of the tournament. And Morocco secured a 1-0 victory over Scotland, And having drawn 1-1 against Brazil, they have 4 points now. So they have 1 foot in the knockout phase of the FIFA World Cup. Also, USA is there. They secured 2-0 victory over Australia. We had that game on Joy Prime yesterday. And also, Mexico, the host of the competition, are also into a round of 32, having started successfully, winning their first 2 matches. Echo.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Talk to me about what you saw in that opening game between Ghana and Panama.
Well, I think it's a game of 2 halves. I think the first half was not encouraging, especially from all angles and from everything that we watched on Wednesday nights. It was quite disappointing. I mean, from some of the key players and from some of the senior players that Carlos Queiroz fielded in his team. But I think that in the second half, when those boys came on, I mean, as more of like the substitutes who came on, I think those guys came on and they changed the game. And I'm thinking that going into the second game against England, I mean, are those players that came on as a substitute going to start? So, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that it was a game of 2 halves. The first half was so much disappointing, so discouraging, full of palpitations, and I think that we can't really argue because anybody who watched it will struggle to defend the first half performance of this team. But I think that I remember when Carlos Queiroz was unveiled here in Accra. I mean, the next day I came to the studio to discuss. I mean, you were in here, Achu was in here, Danike and Faint. And I recall saying that this is what experience gives you. And I think that we won this particular game, this particular opener, based on the experience of the manager and based on his substitutions. I mean, he's making a record, by going into this, playing at the tournament or the World Cup with 5 different countries. So in terms of experience, he does have a lot of them, in his pack. And I think that he read a game very, very well. I'm also tempted to believe that some players really disappointed him because you look at how, first time seeing Kamaldeen playing at that number 10 role, you can talk about Jordan Ayew and his impact. I think that he was so much disappointing. That's why I think that he has come under so much scrutiny. And it's obvious. Everybody will struggle to defend the performance of Jordan Ayew. But I think that the second half, those young lads who came on, I think they changed the complexion of the game. And you need to credit the manager and then you need to credit the boys. So I think that first half disappointing, but I think that second half, I think it was a very, very good performance from the lads.
You did describe the performance of some of the players for Ghana. Do you think if those players who came on had started, it would have been any different?
It was very difficult to argue, but then one will be tempted to conclude that based on the performance that we saw in the second half when they came on, we've seen a couple of them, churn out the same performance in some of the friendly matches. Of course, we played just one game. That was a game against Wales. And I think that for me, he spoke about Brendan Thomas Asante. I watched him during the Unity Cup in the UK. I think in the Kirin Cup, we lost both to Japan and then South Korea. But I think that he's one player that I think that we can use him very, very well when it comes to we putting the ball into space and then let's run. And I think that he did that so well. So for me, just to answer your question, will they have been able to put up the same performance if they should have started? Yeah, for me. But then
possible?
Again,
you think so? That's possible? Because many people have said that the entire team in the first half did not give anything meaningful because they needed to warm themselves into the game. You can talk about someone like Enes Nioma, who lacked match fitness. You can talk about the likes of Jordan Ayew, who hardly played any competitive football since the end of the championships.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of other players. Yeah. They were now having their first real test of competitive football. So many people actually believe that maybe nothing would have changed.
Yeah, but Mufti, if that is the case, if these players have not had competitive games in their respective club, why then start them? Because
those are the options available.
No, but you clearly have some good players on the bench, and they came on to change the game.
But do they have competitive football?
No, but you can't. Yeah, look at the performance of Thomas Asante at Coventry City. he has been key for them in their promotion to the Premier League. So for me, he's a player that I think you can bang your hopes on. And when he came on, the goal came from his side. So it tells you that he's a player that when he's given the opportunity, he can really perform and perform very well. So for me, you can talk about Nyama. Of course, we saw Nyama coming on against Wales. He brought the spark, triggered the press and a lot of things. But this game or the game against Panama, I think he was not encouraging, And I just have to buy into what you just said. I think he lacks much fitness because coming from an ACL injury, he need game to warm himself, and that is why I think that you don't have to start him in such games. But I think that, yeah.
Okay, so let me go on the phone and speak to a man who has seen it all at the highest level of football, Emmanuel Ajimambedu. He was at the heart of the Black Stars. As you recall, that volley he scored in the 2015 AFCON against Guinea, which was voted the best goal. In fact, it was actually nominated for Puskas goal of the year. Emmanuel Ajimambedu, a pleasure to have you on Joy Sports Link.
Thank you for having me.
But talk to me about what you saw from the boys against Panama on Wednesday night.
Okay, good afternoon to our first listeners and their colleagues in studio. I've watched their friendly games prior to this tournament, and I witnessed that they are a team that are free flowing when it comes to goal scoring, but concede as well. On the 29th of March, they played against South Africa. It was 1-1. On the 30th of March, they beat South Africa 2-1. 31st May, Brazil beat them 4-2. June 3rd, they played against Dominican Republic. That was 4-2. And June 6th, they drew 1-1 against Bosnia. So if you look at their team, they score goals, however, concede goals. So in such teams, if you are able to lock them not to score, that means they will concede. So when we are going to the game, I was so optimistic that it will be very difficult, but we are going to win. On our side, proud to it, you saw what happened in our friendly games. We were not able to win games. On paper, they were a bit better than us when it comes to the FIFA ranking because they ranked 33rd and we ranked 73rd or 74th. But in such games, the pitch will decide. And we were able to deploy a strategy that really helped us. We went in for 4-2-3-1, putting Kamadi behind the striker. I think it was difficult for Kamadi because of where we deployed him. He's a player who wants space to go 1v1 and run behind defenders. But if we put him in a limited area where there's a lot of players, he will struggle. Intelligently of the coach, after 35 minutes, he switched to 4-4-2 direct because he bring Semenyo close to Jordan and Kamadi went on the flanks.
Yeah.
And second half, it was brilliant. So in all, it was a resilient game they played. The first half was very difficult because Panama was going on the wings and want to use a lot of crossing. Atiziki came in strongly and saved all the balls. Then, after they were locked from the wings, they went behind our long balls behind our defense. And that one couldn't work. And second half, they were disorganized. So the intelligence of our coach, he brought in a player that can hold the ball and run with the ball. And quick trade transition, one pass on the 92nd minute, we were able to score. There's something called ugly win in set games. Every first game is very difficult, very rough like this. And the most important, you get the win. So it was a very solid game.
Oftentimes, I always refer to my conversation with Stephen Appiah. He will tell you that no one is asking for who played better. They are asking for who won the game.
Absolutely. So, however the goal comes, that's the most important thing. And especially in first games, it eases pressure from the team and gives them confidence going forward.
You saw this young man at the heart of that midfield, Caleb Rienchi. Talk to me about that boy. Just how special is he?
You see, in the last past 4 years or 5 years, I've been telling you that we lack a proper box-to-box midfielder. A box-to-box midfielder that can set forward to help the attack. And I have watched him at Northern. So anytime we come to Ghana, in as much as he played only 2 times at right back in the national team, I was like, hey, we are lacking this kind of player here. We have someone like that. Why are we deploying a different position? Well, every coaches will come with different ideas and philosophy on how he sees players. So I just kept quiet. After deploying in the midfield, we all saw his capabilities and how strong he is. He distributes the balls very well. He's very calm on the ball, 20 years, and can be very calm with this huge pressure on him. Absolutely, he's brilliant. And the way he touches the ball one touch and tries to set forward and help to score goals is absolutely incredible. You watch our game against Wales, and that is exactly what happened. He won the ball, then Myanmar took the ball, and he still surges forward to help the attack. Unfortunately, Myanmar couldn't score, and the ball came to him, and beautifully he placed the ball into the net. That is exactly what happened on the 98th minute. Too much energetic. He won the ball, give it to Semenyo, one tie to Asante, he dribbled one touch. He turned, and the boy who won the ball at the center stage, he was in the box. Absolutely incredible. And he's very young. We don't want to put pressure on him. He should continue enjoying the game like this, and he's a future for the national team. Absolutely brilliant player.
It's a future for the national team. That is Ajman Bedu there talking to us about Kale Purenchi. Ajman Bedu himself scored incredible goals from often getting into the box to make sure that he finishes it. Because sometimes it is quite rare to get some footballers like that. Because oftentimes you have a midfielder win the ball. He's giving it forward to his attackers. His job is to stay behind and protect his team. But he is still finding himself in the box to make sure he finishes it. You, from where you sit, where should the team improve heading into the game against England?
Ball possession a bit. If you are not sure of the ball possession, try to go long and win the second ball. I know you will suffer. You will suffer when it comes. You need to sweat.
Carlos Queiroz said we will suffer.
No, you will sweat. They will have a lot of possession, maybe again. But whenever England loses the ball, they go and pressing and try to win the ball here on the half of the opponent. So it's a key. So it depends how confident you will be to possess the ball. If you can't, then we need to go for long and try to win the second ball. England, they have a team, very strong team, attacking, very strong from the midfield to the attack. But they also have a problem at their defensive back line. And we need to possess the ball, keep the ball, especially in the midfield, because if you allow them and have this penetration passes in between the lines, the two block lines in the midfield to the defense lineup, if you are not too compact and they were able to get that penetration passes, they will cause problems for us. Another thing they are very dangerous on, when they go on 1v1 on the flanks, because of the kind of players they have there, we need to, I was coming to speak Italian, Radopia, like we need to go two with them, not to allow 1v1 always. We need to run, come and help the defenders so that we can go 2 against 1. Because whenever they take off, they are not a team that do a lot of crosses like how Panama was doing. They do a cutback because of the kind of midfielders they have, because the can Rice will be coming forward, Anderson will be coming, Bellingham is there, and Gordon at times he's on the flanks, and you can see me in the middle. So they will use Hurricane to do all that dirty work. He will stretch forward in front of the defenders, and they will allow space on the 18 area so that their midfielders will come and support the attack.
Okay.
So we need to try and block them on that side as well.
Okay. Hang on for me. Let me get the toss of Augustina Himfo, former Ghana striker. Faisal Chipsa is also with us. Mr. Himfo, first 90 minutes, 3 points for the Black Stars. From where you sit, talk to me about the game. The areas the boys did well and areas they will have to improve going forward.
Thank you very much. I think it was good that we had the 3 points in the bag. It is good to always start a tournament with a win. But in terms of the game itself, we need to improve on our play. Football nowadays, you can talk about goalkeepers starting attack from the back. So I don't see our defense or our back line having that confidence to begin the game from the back or just play from where the goalkeeper is transitioning into attack. So if we are able to improve that aspect of the game, I think they are capable or they will be able to give us the result that we need. At least we should not lose that match if we are thinking of progressing. And I have said all the time, though England is a good team, we will be capable of handling them. And I said this before the draw was even made. Because on the day of the draw, we had American ambassador's residence, and I told the ambassador that I was hoping we'll meet England. I don't know why I felt that. They are a good side, but I think on a good day, we are capable of handling them. But it's up to us how we'll look at the game and then plan. Because I don't think the system of play is the key. It is not the format that we see statically on the field. It is the system that we apply from the format that should be looked at. We should be compact as usual and then be confident in attack. Sometimes I hope that coaches will be able to admit that, look, the lineup I began with was not the right one, and then subsequently I made some changes. Because if you look at the players that started the previous game, I really didn't know where Kamaldeen was playing until the beginning of the second half, where you could see that he had moved to the left. Because Semenyo was on the left, Kamaldeen was slightly left. So I didn't know whether he was playing behind Jordan or Jordan was playing behind him. So whoever we deploy on the day should be assigned a specific role as to what he has to do to help the team out, either in defense or in attack.
So, per the setup you saw, what must change? What must change going into the game against England?
So,
in terms of personnel, in terms of body language, approach, everything, what must change?
So, if I were the coach, I'll probably play Semenyo as a false nine because he's good on the ball. He can handle the ball. He can run at defenders. And then deploy probably, if it is going to be Nyama or
Fatau,
Fatau or Christopher Bonsu or Bonsu Ba on the left, so that we can be sure. Possibly he can also play Jordan on the left if he wants to play him on the left, and then play Semenyo in the middle. Because, truth be told, the last game that we all witnessed, the first 45, I did not see Semenyo touch the ball for like 6-7 times. I could be wrong, or you can correct me. Because he was totally out of the game.
Was it our system? Was it the system that took him out of the game?
I believe so. Because one, he has to receive the services that he needs to be able to run at defenders or otherwise. So if the balls are not coming, then obviously he is out of the game. And we've always spoken about Iñaki Williams, and that is the same problems that he's encountered each time he plays for us. Because he's that player that he wants you to hit the ball up front so he can run. So the issue of us passing sometimes and waiting on the ball derails his movements. So if I were the coach, I'll play Semenyo as a false nine. Or probably start with Brendan Asante. Wow. And then play Semenyo on the left, either Fatau Shaku or Nyama. And then also some players should also be smart. Nyama, for instance, we all saw in what he did against Wales when he came on, because you see, he had sat on the bench and had studied the way the Welsh team was playing. So when he came on, he knew exactly what he had to do. But against Panama, I don't know whether he had the luxury of watching a video of the Panamanian team, to the extent that each ball that he had, he wanted to take on the defender. And the defender was very strong, and he couldn't take him on. And instead of him to change that style of play, which is get the ball, push the ball, and create an avenue for yourself so that a pass could, he kept wanting to take the defender on. Yeah. And that's the reason why he didn't perform well.
Okay.
And all these things could have been directions from the bench as to what he needed to do. So let's hope that against England on Tuesday, hopefully, will be able to have that confidence. And our defense, Muftawu, if the likes of Panama will be confident and play from the back, I mean, sprung passes left, right, center. If there wasn't no space up front, they'll bring the ball back and begin. I don't know why we can't do that. I don't know. I think that it's hard time. If it is the trend currently, then we also have to have the confidence to begin the ball from there. How many times did you see our back line try to pass the ball up front?
They were
And all
trying to
that,
balloon it.
yes, all that Ajete kept doing was to control, hit the ball up front, and I think that we should be confident. Yes, football, it's a plan. It's a plan of something. So if you don't plan well, it will not go well for you.
I know you are very busy.
Factor, yes.
I know we are very busy. But the first question I'll ask you before I let you go is: Would you bring back Thomas Partey into the lineup for the game against England?
I think that will be up to the coach. Muftawu, myself and you are not part of the team.
Just as you mentioned, if you were the coach, you play Antoine Semenyo as a force. Now, if you were the coach, would you bring Thomas?
You see what I observed in our match, and if you do that, I'm happy you said Faisal is on the line or he's at the studio. I don't know.
No, he's online.
He's very good when it comes to analyzing of the game. What I saw, and if any other good team will see that and take advantage of, will suffer. Between Elisha Owusu and Urenchi, there was a big gap in between them.
I can see Faisal nodding, so he's
quick.
agreeing with you.
He said,
I can see Faisal nodding his head, so he's agreeing with you.
Yes, there was that big gap. So if you have any coach or team that studies you very well during the match or maybe before the match, then we have to be very, very, very careful. Because a proper team like England so-called, Brazil so-called, France will punish you when there's that gap. First of all, Renchi is a midfielder, so he has to first of all perform the duties of a midfielder before he thinks of progressing into going to join the attack. But each time I saw him more closer up front to where Jordan was than being in the middle closer to Elisha Owusu. Maybe it was a role assigned him, but for me, as a coach, if I see this in a game, I will take advantage of it. So I hope that against England, that will be corrected. And you can bring either you bring Thomas to sit just ahead of the back four like Elisha Owusu was doing, or vice versa. Urenchi will rather come to that because he has the strength and the power to run as young as he, and then Thomas will be deployed a little bit forward.
Okay.
But the truth is that Thomas has lost a bit of pace. So if you are looking to have somebody like Renchi who transitioned quickly to come, because he recovered the ball in the first place, played the pass to Semenyo, Semenyo gave to Brendan, and then Renchi was able to run into the area and the goal came. So somebody has to inform the team that this is what is going on and that we have to look at it critically.
In fact, from where I sit, I was looking at that boy. It is 90 minutes plus. He still had the legs to run all the way up into the box. This is a guy who received a yellow card even in the first half. Yeah. So, in fact, many of us were actually worried for him that the way he was playing, it was possible that he was going to get another card. But he still
There's something that we call willpower.
Yeah.
And he's young. You see, let me go back and refer to somebody, Frank Lampard. There are players that we have in this world that are like that. It doesn't matter how tired they are. But they are able to get to that area at that crucial moment. And when they are coming, you don't see them. Because of the position, you don't see them. Before you realize they are in the area. One player I can talk of is the American number 8, McKinney.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's always like that. You don't know where he pops from, he will be in the area. And the next moment, you see him in his defensive third, defending. Wow. There are a few special players like that.
Okay.
But he has to be talked to. He's young. so exuberant he wants to be in the game, but he has to be spoken to so that he can control certain aspects of the game.
Okay. Augustine Ahimfo, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Link. If you just joined us, this is Joy 99.7 FM. It is Joy Sports Link, and Augustine Ahimfo has been speaking to us. And earlier too, Emmanuel Ajimambede is still with us. But now let me go to Faisal Chipsa. You heard Augustine talk about the fact that if we want someone who can analyze the game better, the likes of Faisal Chipsa, they often do incredible job when it comes to the analysis.
I always like what Sichu says. Right after Arsene Wenger's office, no, that be where his office is. So you cross in office now, you go see him. Sichu, wherever you go, good afternoon. And Faisal, good afternoon.
Faisal, talk to me. Were you in the stadium?
I was, yeah. We drove from US to Canada. It's only 6 hours, 6.5 for me. Fortunately, I'm home. This is home for me, so we drove to Canada to the game, and back in America now, preparing for Boston.
You were in the stadium. You probably might have seen certain things that those of us who watch on television were not privy to. Share with us what you saw.
Yeah, I'll pick on one that our legend, Augustine Ahimfo, touched on, and I hear a lot of people say we were compact. Maybe on TV it may look so because of the TV angle, but when you are at the stadium and you are able to see all 22 players at a goal, you realize we weren't that compact at all. And he did mention the gap between UNC and Elisha. At this level, if you give your position that space, that gap between your two central midfielders, you will get punished, especially against teams like England, who have the ability, the skill, and the expertise to play between lines. No matter how tight teams get, they still have players that can receive between lines, that can play between lines. And for me, that's going to be the theme of the game against England. Look, Panama gave us a lot of joy. Let me just put it this way. And Panama is not England. We know that already. But for us, if we really want to get even a point from this game, I think we would have to be 10 times better than we were against Panama. One, beginning from our ability on the ball. Again, the first 45 minutes pretty much gave us an idea of where we are. And I don't want to blame, the coach too much. I said this earlier on. Let's not put all our eggs in a basket we've not woven yet. And it shows clearly with the lineup that Carlos put up. And again, we looked at as of when Ghana played, the lineups, from match day 1 to that game, we were one of 3 teams that issued that lineup for the first time, meaning our players had not played in that system before. And clearly you're going to face challenges. And we saw it in addition to not having many friendly games before the tournament. So clearly you could tell we were trying to find our feet. We weren't too comfortable. We weren't quite sure what we want to do, how we want to progress the ball, and it showed, right? But I'm not worried about that. The one thing I was positive on was the commitment from the players. Again, it's something that I have not seen in many, many years. Yes, we can talk about systems and people, but at the end, it still comes down to your commitment, your passion, the intensity. That stuff, you don't need a professional. If you step up on the field, you're required to give that any single player at all. And for the first time, I saw that. And for me, that was the difference for us, that we were able to remain in the game and push and commit and onto the final whistle. And we got the winning goal there. So it's going to take a lot. We would have to be even more compact than we were against Panama. But most importantly, we would have to take care of the ball, because England is not a team where you want to give possession to. They have ability to do everything. They can play behind, they can play through, they can play over. They have the players to do every single attacking sequence in a global game. So for me, it's going to be a tough one. But let's see.
I remember when you and I spoke, you had mentioned that Carlos Queiroz was a man who was going to give this team an identity, because previously, and in fact, I remember speaking to David Akama as well, who has said that what was happening previously, people were actually struggling to appreciate what this Black Stars team was all about. Did you see anything to suggest that Carlos has a certain identity he wants to put in place heading into subsequent games?
Yes, being from the attacking side, and it was very clear. Let's soak up the pressure. Let's win possession, and then let's play into the wide areas and have our most skillful 1v1 players go at defenders. So we saw Nyama in the opening games trying to go at the left back. We saw Semenyo at the other end do the same thing, although he did not get a lot of touches on the ball. But for me already, if you ask me how are we looking to penetrate and get into the final third, this is one thing that I saw. Was it perfect? No. Semenyo didn't get a lot of touches. Nyama wasn't that successful with these 1v1 take-ons, but I can see what they are trying to do. I can see us winning the ball and playing to our wingers and having them go at the fullbacks. That's clear to me. We just have to be better at it, right? And hopefully with time, that will come. The other one was us playing into the feet of Jordan. But what was missing was the three-man combination, we call it. And when teams are compact and tight, sometimes you need players to be closer to each other to just combine, a back through, we call it, and then play behind. We did not see a lot of those combinations. Instead, we see a ball to Jordan's feet and then he holds onto it. And in football, every 2 seconds you waste, that's 2 seconds gained by your position to get back and defend. Unfortunately, we wasted way too much time playing forward, and then we hold onto the ball more than 5 seconds, and before you know, we've lost the opportunity to play forward. So that needs to be improved. On the attacking side, I can see that. Defensive side also, I can see commitment. Look, you can talk about 4-4-2, you can talk about all the defensive shapes and systems that you want. But for me, defending is communication and commitment. That we didn't have before. So you can be in position, but if you're just there as a passenger and not really doing what is required of you, then you're just there. You're just occupying space and occupying position. But for the first time, I saw it. People put it in tackles here and there. People trying to drop back quickly when we lose the ball. And that for me is a huge plus. So I can see the future. Unfortunately, we are not, at that peak optimum yet, but we'll get there with time, assuming he continues his job after the World Cup.
Were there moments that you felt Panama exposed the weaknesses in the Black Stars side?
First 15 minutes, our back line, very jittery. And if Panama had players that could run behind or even play between lines, we would be exposed a lot. Hopefully we are able to find solution to that, because this is something England will exploit. England will play between the lines. England would run behind because of players that they have. And that for me needs to be solved. We saw it against Panama in the first opening 15 minutes. And again, I'm not blaming too much. It's just because we've not had the time to work on this kind of stuff. So they just have to find a solution now, an emergency one, to stop that threat from England.
Okay. If you can hear me, what pleased you most about Ghana's performance against Panama? What pleased you the most? Do I have Emmanuel Ajimambedu with me?
I think we defended very well. In as much that they were able to exploit a lot of our weakness and go into our box. They were able to defend very well. And that is, I think, the thing that we did well, because the first 45 minutes, we couldn't even have one shot on target. And they were winning the second balls as well, coming on us and bringing a lot of crosses from the flanks and other things. So I think defensively, I think we were better.
Defensively, we were better, or they were better?
No, we were better defensively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You are a man in the midfield. You played in the midfield for many years, and I want to find out whether if the midfield provided any balance between creativity and then defensive protection.
Well, there were spaces in our midfield. That one we cannot say there was not. There was a lot of spaces because of how we were defending and how we were standing in positions. But listen, both of them haven't played before. And safe games is very crucial. Consistency in midfield is very, very crucial because it's a very sensitive position. If you don't understand each other very well, the opponent will outsmart you and go through the middle. So once they haven't played before, I knew there was going to be problems with them. But as going forward, I think they will understand each other and try to know how to balance it. And it's very important. After games, normally they will bring the clips to the footballers to watch maybe 2 days to see where we made the mistakes, where we need to stand compact, and where we do this. So I know the coach would sit down and analyze things and work on that because there was a bit of spaces between them.
Okay. This show is a
Muftawu,
very interactive show.
If I can jump in here.
Okay, sure.
Yes, you asked a question to Ayinfo earlier on if you would start Thomas. And
Yes.
I think your question to Ajimambedu now would answer that. If Thomas is in the right mind, mindset, if I would say, and right place to play, I would start him because of that leadership role that Ajimambedu just explained.
Okay.
Sometimes you need somebody with that experience just to control things a bit. It's not always running after the ball, but sometimes you need somebody who can see 2-3 steps ahead of the game and then say to the others and say, all right, just sit here, just stand, don't go. Right? That leadership is so important, especially if you're going to be defending for a long time. And this is why I would bring Thomas, because I can see him playing that role. May not have the legs, but at least he's got the experience and the ability to say to the players around him and just control that space a bit. For me, if I have to start, or if I'm thinking about why to start Thomas, this could be the reason why Thomas would start this game, just to bring a bit of leadership and steer the ship a bit in the middle of the pitch.
Okay. So let me just go back to Ajimambida on this. I wanted to ask him that
Agree
question.
on with fight.
Okay.
I was thinking of because of how England are made for this with this kind of interpositional changes and quick transition. I would like to block the back four with two DMs, maybe Sibu and Pate, because how Urenchi effective is it going forward and can track back. Maybe I will put him in front of them, go with Ishaku on the wing, go with Sel Semenyo on the wings, and still put Jordan in front because you need this kind of England footballers that are playing in England and they have fear of them. O'Reilly might try to set forward, but Ishaku is quick and he will be thinking twice before going forward. James might be surging forward, but he will be very careful of Semenyo because he knows the kind of player he is. It can limit them of going forward, and if it limits them of going forward, I think it will be a plus for our team as well.
Okay. Faisal had mentioned something, which was about the commitment of the players. He said that it was the first time in a long while that he has seen these boys line up and give their all. They were so committed to the cause. It takes me to the question where, if you have to compare with recent tournaments, do you see a certain belief and a certain resilience in this side?
Before talking, I said they were very resilient. So obviously, I've seen something like that. But we need to improve, and everybody will attest to it that or agree to it that we need to improve in a lot of aspects in the midfield. How you hold, if you can be able to hold the ball as well, because the long balls were too much, and we were not able to pick the second balls as well. Okay. And one thing, Augustine was saying that the defenders Ajete was going through long balls and stuff. My observation was, if your midfielders are not available, what do we expect the defenders to do? The midfielders have to be very confident, stand in a good position and receive the ball, or be confident and go to the defenders and receive the ball from them. Because if not, if one or two players come on pressing and they don't get where their midfielders are, the first priority or option for the defender to do is to go for long and try to win the second ball. So we need to be very confident in our possession as well.
Okay. I'll be back to you, Ajman. But let me take the toss of Faisal on what he saw of England against Croatia, and because
before you even, I mean, ask him to talk about the game between England and Croatia. There's just two things I just want to find out from Faisal, because the conversation that you've had with Ahimfo, with Ajman Bedu still on the line with Faisal as well. It looks like we are not thinking about a number 10 role. You get me? Because if you listen to
let me find out from Faisal whether we need a number 10 in this team.
Yes, and then also, just to add to that particular question, are there vulnerabilities in this English setup? Because you go back to what he said, they can play any style, anyhow.
So I was building the point to that. I want to hear his thoughts on how they perform against England and what the vulnerabilities are. But Faisal, do you think this Ghana setup, do we need a number 10?
It depends on the role and responsibility of that number 10.
Don't be diplomatic with the answer. Do we need a number 10?
No, I'm not. Look, yes, you can play a 10, all right, that just be a creative 10. Or you can play a 10 that breaks lines with runs, and meaning running behind from deep positions. Or you can play a 10 that wants to get on the ball and attract defenders, right? And then open up spaces elsewhere. So you really have to be clear with what you want from your number 10.
Okay.
Now, if you play Brendan Thomas Asante as a 10, I see more of someone who likes to break lines with the run. So meaning he's not going to drop and be like maybe a Kuja Samoa or a Jude Bellingham. No, that's not that's not who he is. That's not his profile, right? So you have to be clear first with what sort of number 10 that you want to deploy. So if you ask me, do we need a number 10? Again, it depends. You can play Jordan as a 10, but Jordan will give you a different role as a 10, meaning he's probably going to find the ball, hold on to it, attract defenders, if he's able to keep it, and then find spaces behind. So going into England, if you ask me, how should we set up? Look, England, Croatia for me was probably the best round one game that I saw. Best attack in football from both teams. England is so good structurally that even when they're in possession, they're set up properly to quickly counter when they lose the ball. And that for me would be an area we can look to exploit, meaning if we are able to win back possession, depending on which area we win the ball in, how quickly can we go forward? Because the reality is, if we win and we decide to play or combine, I think England would take advantage of that. They are so quick in that counter press when they lose the ball. So for us, their weakness then would be, because again, they squeeze in players, they squeeze in teams. So you would see in our half of the game, you're probably going to see all 10 England players close to us in our half. So where are the spaces going to be happening or carrying? If we are able to win possession, how quickly can we run behind? And this is probably will lead to who we pick in our lineup there. Who are the guys
and
that
this
can
will require
run
quick
quickly?
players, isn't it? It means like if you are going to have about 10 of them in front of our players at close range, it means that we should have quick players to be very effective on the counter.
Exactly that. Because if
you should take me to coaching school.
it's because I made it easier for you to get, all right? So but that would be the keys to the game for us. So maybe the choice of lineup will change a bit. Who are our quick guys? Young, you can mention Semenyo, you can mention Nuama. Maybe this would be a game for Fatal. But if we decide to go for players that can hold on to the ball and play, first, I don't think we are there yet. And that would play into the strength of England because they are very quick to counter press as soon as they lose the ball. So let's not even think about holding on to the ball. If we lose it or if we win it, where are the spaces and can we run forward? We are not a team that likes to think forward or play forward or run forward. But it's strange because we have players with the pace that really want to run forward and can run forward and be dangerous. But for some reason, we are not taking advantage of it. Jimabedu mentioned if we want to play, our midfielders would have to be avail themselves and receive. But on the other hand, you also need defenders that are brave to play that right pass into the feet of those midfielders. At the moment, I don't think our two center backs are that brave enough or even can play that right passes, because a midfielder may show up, and if the pass is not in the right direction, if the weight is wrong, if the texture is wrong, then you mess up everything, right? If I look at our two center backs, do they have that ability and skill? I'm not too sure. So you need both, to really happen in order to you to be effective in those areas. We have to be really good in our areas, trust me. But the key to the game for me would be how quickly can we turn the ball over, but then look to run forward and play forward. That for me would be the keys to the game.
Ajimambedu, if you were with this group of players, what sort of conversations would you be having?
Just be confident, just be yourself, be very attentive, and play simple. Don't focus too much on the ball and just have a quick transition to the opponent's half. Because obviously, for possession, they will have much of the ball more than us. And just be very compact, very, very compact. Exploit their defensive weakness, quick counter-attacks, win a lot of set pieces. Just to counter defensively, and we need to defend very well because they would create the chances. Especially we need to block the middle, not to go through there, else it will be very difficult for us.
When you were with this team, were there moments you're going for a game as huge as the one against England, and maybe you have butterflies in your tummy? Were there moments like that?
Normally, in tournaments like this, after first game, the pressure eases a bit. It comes down a bit. Okay. The first games are very crucial. At times, I can't even sleep the whole night because I'm thinking how to start the game, how to get the point so that you can relax a bit. Obviously, this is a different ball game. The kind of global attention this game is getting is crazy.
Huge, yeah.
So, obviously, there will be a bit of pressure, but I think the first game can ease a bit of pressure a bit.
Faisal and his people have tried to increase the ticket prices for that guy in England because of the kind of attention that game is going to have. Faisal, you have spoken about the fact that England will have the ball more. So what it means is that Ghana will have to stay compact and maybe try to be quick on the counter and all that. From where I sit, maybe as a layman, I may be disappointed because I want the boys to go gun blazing.
Yeah, but not every game. You can't play every game gun blazing, unfortunately.
I mean, if you go, you open up.
Faisal, I'm on the phone, okay?
Yeah. Look, you can't bring a bow and arrow to a gunfight. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Okay. While you are trying to find your target, they're just going one bazooka, boom, you're out. That's what this game is going to feel like. So you have to pick your target. If you just go and expose yourself out there, then you're going to be you'll be down in a few minutes. It's a fact. You have to recognize your potential, your strength and your weaknesses, and use it as an advantage. And we have to be smart here that we're playing against a team that's really good in all departments of the game. Like, we like to talk about game details. And for me, Thomas Tuchel is probably one of the best in little things in the game that makes a big difference. The angle of the pass, the direction of the pass, the body orientation. These are stuff that he coaches and talks about every single time. And they are the difference maker. Right? And he's so good at it. And I saw it against Croatia. England is so good at it. So we just have to be smart here. Look, we'll suffer, yes, but sometimes you go through turbulence, and then after a few times, you'll be up in good times again. So we have to be ready to suffer. And then,
Carlos says the boys must be ready to suffer. We all must be ready to suffer. And
we all must be ready. Even us as fans, we have to be ready to suffer. All right?
Absolutely.
But then at the end, maybe we may find some success out of it. But to answer your question, we can't go into this game thinking toe to toe against England. I think it would be a mistake from our side.
Wow. Ima, the 2014 World Cup, when the team started on, let me use the word bad note because the team lost to the USA.
Yes, yes.
They responded against Germany and gave off one of the best performances I've seen the Black Stars play, bar the one I saw against Uruguay in the 2010 World Cup. Do you foresee this team being able to play that kind of football just as your group did against Germany in the 2014 World Cup?
It depends on the mentality of the players. If you look at our team, 2014, you have the likes of Mike Letian, Suleiman Taru, Didier Kojo Samoa Jan. The consistency level, the high profile team they were playing in Europe, even can change the mentality in camp. So it's all boiled down on the kind of mentality they have.
You had mentioned that they are a resilient team. Faisal says they are very committed. It's that the mentality is there to be able to match opponents boot for boot. Though Faisal says it will be wrong for us to go toe to toe with England.
I don't think we need to try and go toe to toe them. They have some vulnerable places that we can. They have some vulnerable places that we can exploit and try to win the game. They have a big problem, not too much. Their defensive setup. We need to be very physical in midfield as well, and we need to avoid giving them a lot of set pieces. And we need to stay compact and be patient. So, going toe to toe with them was very difficult, but we can exploit on this vulnerable things I mentioned.
In fact, Bedo, I think I should ask you this question because you are a footballer, so you have a proper appreciation of what the behavior of fans often have on players on the field. Many people have said that the English media have, over the weeks, have a go at Thomas Partey. And people are saying they may use that as a trump card against Thomas Partey. And in fact, even on the field as well, maybe players may want to get him upset by trying to come at him in a way and a manner that he wouldn't like. If you were Thomas Partey, right, how would you be in the right frame of mind to approach a huge game of this nature?
Well, some people will say it's a mind game they are doing, so he shouldn't focus too much on the booing and what will happen on the field, just to stay focused. This issue started when he was at Arsenal, and anytime even Arsenal was playing other teams, you could see this kind of, booing and stuff like that. And I think it's now well experienced that he have grown past this distance and he'll be mentally strong to fight. Normally, this kind of games like this, boo me and I will punish you. And after 90 minutes, you will see if the booing will continue or who will go home with the bragging right.
But when he averaged, Thomas Partey scores the only goal of the game.
Sorry?
I say, imagine at the end of the day, Thomas Partey
scores
the only goal.
Can you imagine, my brother? So some people say mind games, but Thomas is well experienced now. I think he will go past this and be ready for the game.
Faisal, if you were the coach, earlier you were talking about the fact that if he's mentally ready for that challenge, would you put him there knowing very well that the fans will come at him, even players on the field may want to get him upset, maybe just so that he gets red carded and Ghana is down and all that?
I do not see it. Maybe just maybe naive here, but I think it would be very shameful for England players to go after Thomas if they decide to do so. I think it would be just shameful. The fans, yes, and the fans do it really just for banter. But personally, if a fan out there should meet Thomas on the streets, I don't think they'll be bold enough to speak to him or even accuse him of anything. But when it comes to football, of course, we know some of these things sometimes play a role, and disorganizes the state and the mindset of the players and the team. So on the field, I don't think England players would use that against Thomas. That said, he should expect it. It's football. It's gonna happen. Every little issue out there or opportunity that your opposition sees, they want to take advantage of it. But I think Thomas is strong enough to resist this. I think he's strong enough to face whatever bulls that come against him. He's been there before. He's played at a stage so many years. So I do have the trust and belief in him that he would be able to resist all sorts of negative press or talks or chants that comes his way. I'm very confident he'll be ready.
Okay. Will Thomas be ready?
Well, see, I think he's a professional player. I think he's played with this same group of players. Some of them he's played against. I mean, some of them when he was Arsenal, and some of them were in their respective clubs as well. But I think that reason why we have a psychologist in the camp of the Black Stars, I don't know if he still occupies that role or even if he's still one. I think regardless of whatever the English press are throwing around, I think he'll be ready. I think he'll be pumped up for this particular game. You listen to what Sibo said prior to the game against Panama that they want to win for him. In fact, they won. And now I think that he needs to start because Partey offers something that no player in this Black Star setup gives to this team.
And what is that?
I think his calmness. I mean, his eye to distribute balls, his line breaking passes, when to press and when to retreat. So for me, I think that it's all kind of like mind games. But for me, will he start? I think yes, he'll be in the right frame of mind to start. But you go back to what Faisal is saying. I think it's part of the game, and I think he would not be surprised if the English players decide to come up on him, just not to allow him, just to frustrate him.
And that is when the temperature of the game is very high and emotions are flying all over the place.
Exactly. I do recall Arsenal against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where there were conversation between Rice and then Caicedo. Both players were pumped up, and then one player ended up being sent off. But the game ended 1-1. So for me, I think that, Partey is a professional player. It's just unfortunate that he is in the trouble, but I think he'll be ready for this game.
I also believe that the FIFA regulations may not permit them to be able to say certain things because if you cover your mouth, a red card.
Yeah.
And in fact, it happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
last night.
They must say it for everyone to know what they said. And that's going to be quite problematic for some of them if they are willing to put themselves in that situation. Daniel Cranton of Joy Sports has joined us. Daniel and Faisal are all in the States. Danny K, how are you?
Very well.
Danny K is here.
Hi, it's America tweeting you.
Wow. What a good friend I have.
But so he went there with a trademark. With that two lines is in two lines in his head.
I'm speaking to the host. I'm not speaking to you.
Charlie, also,
Daniel, how is the US treating you?
It's just been 2 days. Look, yesterday we had to go get SIM cards just to get ourselves settled in. And actually fell asleep during the Morocco game. I didn't realize how tired I was. I fell asleep. Woke up at dawn to catch it again, and then the Brazil game. So, and I think Faisal know this. People in US don't really care about football. They don't really care. Because we were in town when the USA were playing, and we were getting alerts on our phones that USA had scored. And typically in Ghana, you would hear
go.
Nobody seemed to know what was going on. It was quite interesting. Even the shops were not showing the World Cup. But maybe it's because of where
you're in the wrong place. I don't know where you are, but you're in the wrong place.
I think I'm in the wrong place.
Where are you? So where are you? Are you in Boston?
Yeah, Boston, Marlborough. It looks like this neighborhood, so I don't fault them for not caring at all.
You're in the wrong place. Sorry, my friend.
First, you're in Boston too, or you're in Chicago?
No. I'm in Philadelphia now.
You're in Philadelphia, okay. But you come to Boston for the game, then you go to Philadelphia again. You're at home. US is your home. So yeah. Dada Krati, we've just been talking about Ghana Panama and looking forward to the Ghana England game on Tuesday. I don't know if you were able to see England Croatia. Are there some weaknesses in this English team that you believe Carlos Queiroz can take advantage of?
Look, every team has weaknesses. I think in that first half, Croatia showed that not necessarily they could match, but if clinical enough, you can breach that. That's what I wanted to see going into this World Cup, because England had gone through the entire qualification without conceding a goal. Friendly's leading that defensively, they looked very ready. So my fear was how we could breach them. To see this Croatian attack breach them twice in the first half. In the second half, I think their legs had gone in midfield, and it was very difficult for them to cope with what the English had on the bench and the firepower that they had kept on bringing on. So that was a bit understandable. But for me, the point is, England can be breached defensively, and once a team has a couple of weaknesses in there, they may not be profound, but with the right planning, with the right players, I think we can get in behind them. And I was also encouraged by Ghana's second half performance against Panama. And the firepower we also seem to have on our bench. There's a lot of speed and energy on the bench. And for me, it's a good thing for any team that is to come out against a team like England. Obviously, you know that we will give them a lot of the ball. But on the transitions, you need to be able to have that speed and directness to be able to punish them. And I think we possess that. So if everything goes right, maybe we can get a result, hopefully.
So a draw would be considered a very good result, isn't it?
Look, we went into this World Cup wanting to qualify out of the group. 4 points will be enough. So if we get a draw in this game, I think we are there. Get a win, hooray! But if we get a draw, job done. For me, it's just about getting out of the group.
So in other words, you're suggesting to us that, in fact, Faisal too had just said what you just said about the fact that the English will have the ball more, and that we just need to stay and be quick and go behind them and all that. You are basically saying the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Daniel, you recall, I think I was with you on the studio on Hit FM, and we discussed this thing about the quick transition thing. Faisal has discussed it with us on the program, but he mentioned something that really struck me, that, and Muftawu just touched on it, that we need to be a bit compact and then try to hit them on the counter. And after the game against Panama, I read your tweet. If we are going to hit them on the break, respectfully, do you think we still need Jordan in there?
Because it is Danica, that's why you're asking the Jordan question.
I'm not.
Then why are you asking me?
No, because
I suggesting that with Jordan we cannot play counter attack.
No, because I've had this argument with Danny on the Hit FM.
So let him answer the question.
Yeah, sure.
Look, I think it's all about the approach. So if you look at the last 10 minutes in the Panama game, yes, we were good in transition, but it was built on link-up play. Players were closer to each other, 1-2 passes, and then the ball is released. In the first half, it was hit long balls into Jordan and let him hold him up and hope that the rest of the guys come in to join the attack. It didn't happen to just Jordan. It happened to Semenyo on a couple of occasions, and it also happened to Myanmar. So we're very isolated. So I think game context is very important. For me, I think we need a bit more pace up front in that game. So I would want Aki to start, but you also have to factor in that that play will also be very important against England, because you don't want to just keep on giving them the ball when you pick it up. And it's not every single time you win the ball that you have to spring an attack. It's about movements, and it's about understanding exactly what you need. So for me, I think if Partey is going to start the game, and I'm really hoping that Partey physically is at that level, Partey is going to start the game, at least we have somebody who can ride us through the storm. If we are under pressure, he picks up the ball, he can pass it sideways back, just for us to get a bit of momentum back before we try and spring an attack. If he's going to start, then I think I'll go for a much quicker forward option in Aki Williams. But if Partey is not going to start, then Jordan, but we may need to figure out the system and get players a bit closer, because when it comes to link-up play, Jordan is also good at that. So if you are just going to hook balls to him and hope that he holds it on, it's going to be very difficult. And also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but It's are tending to let a lot of things go. It has to be a actual foul for it to be a foul. So back in the day, Jordan, the ball is hit to him. He uses his backside to a ward of defenders, a little touch, and he goes down and it's a foul. But against Panama, we didn't see that. In quite a number of games at this World Cup, we've not seen those instances being given as fouls. So because it was not given as a foul, it was looking bad on him. And for me, that's how, and we are very sure that that's how officiating is going to go. So that is not going to work. So players must be closer to each other to enable not just Jordan Ayew, but the attacking players thrive. Because you can't sit here and tell me that Jordan is the only attacking player who didn't have a bad game until like 70 minutes. Semenyo wasn't having a good game. Niyama had a terrible first half. Jordan also had a terrible first half. So I think with the right system, players are closer to each other. It helps everybody out. But for me, I would want a much quicker, direct forward player to start that game. I just think it will serve us better. But and again, Jordan is also the kind of player who, even if he starts on the bench like what we saw against Mali, is experienced enough and intelligent enough to understand what the team needs. And if he comes on, he can always cause some trouble. So for me, either way, it works. But again, with 43 years of experience, Carlos Queiroz knows exactly what he's doing. So I trust him.
Faisal, can Ghana beat England?
In football, everything is possible. So can Ghana beat England? Yes.
Faisal, I like that. I like that. You see, the reason why I wanted to find out from me if there are any, vulnerabilities in this English setup. Because see.
But he answered that.
Yeah, but you see.
There are.
Every team, regardless of, that Pep Guardiola team that won the treble had issues. They lost. They didn't go the season, the entire season without losing it. But if Faisal believes that we'll be able to win, then it means that we need to punch above our weight. We need to be better.
And he has said it. He said we have to play 10 times better than we did against Panama. So clearly, though he believes that Ghana can win, Ghana can beat England.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult.
Faisal, this aspect you said there.
Yeah.
Many people will come.
Will come at you.
I'm sure.
Pardon?
I can see the headlines already. Yeah.
Yes. You can imagine the headlines
FIFA
already.
thinks Ghana will beat England.
That's the point. That's the point. And they'll tell you, Arsene Wenger's right hand man says Ghana can beat
there
England.
you go.
but what would it take for Ghana to beat England, though? What would it take? Would it take the commitment you spoke about? Would it take the resilience? Would it take the teams soaking pressure and hitting them on the counter? What would it take?
Look, I always say this in the game of football. You need three things. You need quality, you need intensity, and you need to be competitive. 2 out of 3, you are good. If Ghana brings intensity and they bring competitiveness, we can get results. The quality, you can say England is high. Fair game, we understand, right? But sometimes you don't need quality to win football games. You need intensity and competitive. And we've seen it many times in football games. Cabo Verde, they got a tie?
Against Spain, yeah.
Okay. And are you telling me they had quality than Spain? No chance. No chance. So again, we've seen many stories like this coming out of football. But if we bring the intensity, if we bring the competitiveness, forget about the X's and the O's. I think sometimes we get too fixated on, formations and systems. And for me, it's people, it's human beings, it's soldiers that make this system and formations breathe, right? So yes, you need some sort of guidance as to where we should be positioned and how we should move. But at the end, it comes down to what you bring individually. And that's the intensity and the competitiveness for me. If we bring that to every single game and any single game, you're 50% through. The rest is okay. You have to look at the quality also. You have to be smart with your decisions. And that becomes, an open game. So yes, we can, if we are smart and play to our strength, we can get results out of this.
But you do believe that if okay, let me ask this question before that. Following that victory against Panama, a very good result against England, a very good result against Croatia. Certainly, you think Ghana is in a position to go very far in this group?
Let's not get carried away. We have to be realistic to ourselves, right?
And if you are realistic, what are the chances of the team of progressing out of the group?
Now, I would just say get out of the group because, again, you don't know who you're going to face after that. And your position matters in football, for sure. So we have a long term, but you start to work on your short-term goals. And the short term for me now is to get out of the group. Get out of the group, and then you look at who you face, and then you strategize again. You can approach every game the same. No, not in football. Even in a 90 minute.
Can they get out of the group? Can they get out of the group?
Yeah. Yes, after securing 3 points against Panama, which for me was needed, you're more than 50% through in getting out of the group. As worst case scenario, you can be one of the 8 best placed third place teams to get out. But we've set ourselves up very nicely to get up. Worst case scenario.
England and Croatia presents a different threat entirely, and
yes. Yeah. And that's where we need to be realistic to ourselves. Look, we got 3 points against Panama, but to some extent, I'll say Panama also give us the game. If we had played this game again tomorrow, the results could go for Panama. Again, they had all the chances in the opening game to score. Atizigi was brilliant. So that tells you the probabilities in football, right? But you have to be realistic. I feel like sometimes we get 3 points and then human beings, we are normal. Everything is about results, right? We start thinking about, we got 3 points, the team is good enough. No, leave that for the fans. The fans love that. But for us as technicians and the coaching staff and the players, you have to be realistic and look yourself in the mirror and make sure when you see blue, you call it blue. Don't see green and say it's violet. Then you're lying to yourself and you won't go far with that.
One word to describe Ghana's chances against England on Tuesday.
Compete. Just go out there and compete.
Okay.
If the formation and the system is not working, just go out there and be a soldier. Just run for each other. Just grind and give it your all after 90 minutes. Yeah, that's the best you can do.
I remember I was having a conversation with was it Akam or which player like this, and he said that anytime the Black Stars were up against a challenge, it was very tough. As Amojan would tell them, the way they are knocking the ball about, let's play street football. Unya bola,
but you see, I mean, before Faisal go, there is one interesting thing too we are not, paying attention to. That's when it comes to Ghana's second group games. When it comes to the history of the World Cup, we've never lost a second group game. But I think that you
guys play too much into this, and it's second game, we've not lost. And football. Let's talk about the facts on the pitch and leave that.
Definitely, I was.
So Faisal, I'll even go back to 1992. Since 1992, Ghana has won. Ghana has lost just one second group game since 1992. I wrote the article.
Since World Cup was established, Ghana has never won one. Does it mean we are never going to win one? No. Let's leave that stuff out, right?
No, but Faisal, the conversation is that, these things are, history is very important when it comes to football. You might sometimes go.
Is it for psychological purposes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you might want to go back to your history and say, listen, we've done it before, and we can do it.
But the quality varies. Like Faisal,
exactly.
Faisal would disagree with you.
I know you can't. There's a huge gulf of quality between this Black Stars team and the England team. But the point is that you go back to 2006, Czech were better than us, but we found a way to win. 2010, Germany were better than, but we found a way to draw. Hold them to a 1-1 draw, I think, or 2-2 draw, something like that.
That was 2014.
Yeah, 2014 to a 2-2
2010
draw.
we lost.
We lost. Yeah, I think against
that's
Australia
exactly
it ended
what
1-1.
We're saying now. Find a way, but. Let's not base the whole plan or argument
on history.
Fair. I agree. I agree.
That I can't say.
Yeah.
Faisal said we can beat England, no.
The way you are asking, it looks like you don't believe. Like we can beat England, no. Like you are pinning it to him. That I didn't say it. It
No,
was
no.
Faisal.
Let me rephrase that. Faisal said, "In a game of football, everything is possible."
So yes, we can beat England. Those were the words you added.
Yeah, it's possible, guys. It's about percentages. Look, I completely agree. Funny, that is very interesting because nobody has a chance to the competition. So if you beat Panama, I think, but that is for a fanatical. I don't think Carlos Queiroz to be sitting beating. We have an opportunity to respect the position.
Daniel, I think you are still in the Ghana part of the US. The network they break.
Oh, then it's not like because you are in Ghana, you are telling.
No, but I mean, your line keeps breaking. Your line
speed is very smooth.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, then it's a problem with your network.
Danny, unfortunately, I'm experiencing the same. So switch from your MTN network to American network.
That's interesting.
That's a very interesting one. And MTN, they're celebrating 30 years. MTN are 30, and they've got wonderful prizes to give away to people. MTN, I'm not doing an LPM for you, please. Let me read this message that says that, bring back the message for me before I take the thoughts of Daniel Cranton as we wrap up the conversation. Prosper from Dakuman. Let me read. Emmanuel Techi, he says that most of our midfielders were not available to receive the ball from a defender, especially Elisha Owusu. He was always hiding behind opponents' players. He was boring to watch. Emmanuel Techi, he's saying that. Now, let me also take this one from Prosper Dakuman again. He said, I think we have been too harsh on Jordan Ayew. Coach Carlos Queiroz has so far proven he knows exactly what he's doing. His substitution is evident of a good coach who is able to read a game and vary his tactical play. With regards to the goalkeeping department, both Benjamin Asare and Atiziga are good. They will survive if the defense supports and protect them. Finally, we lose too much possession, which must be worked on before the England game as well as subsequent matches. Prosper actually believes that there will be more matches to be played in this tournament. He said, congrats to the Black Stars for a good start at the World Cup this year. I have a funny feeling that they will get better after every match and go far in this tournament, like the one goal project that happened some time ago. That was 16 years ago under Milovan Raj. But let's keep supporting and praying for them. Go Black Stars, go. And this one from who? No. This one they want me to do free LPM for you. I beg you. I don't go read them. I don't go read them. Thank you. Daddy K. Let me wrap up. Let me take your final thoughts on this. Ghana versus England. Is this the game that the Black Star final announces their presence at the World Cup? Or they've already done so?
We have 3 points. Everybody who is at the World Cup has announced it. We have 3 points, so even better for us. But look, that's a tough game. That's only the top team in this group. They are the team to beat in this group. So we need to approach the game as such. Yes, there's history that we've not lost our second game. Doesn't mean we just walk in because we've not won our second game. Then it's a line for us. Needs to be put in it. And again, I agree with Faisal when he talks about for each other. It's very important to put in that first half. Second balls, there was a commitment to winning second balls. There are certain things and certain qualities that as a team, and that just makes it very difficult for us to compete in terms of quality. But if you are willing to fight and are willing to compete, you can give it the edge. And for me, the Black Stars have shown me, at least under Carlos Queiroz, that they are very willing. If you look at that second half performance against Panama, that commitment, that willingness to go out and fight. And if we can do that, and front, we have some quality that can hit the look. Thomas Asante, Semenyo, Williams, Jordan, Fatal. These guys can punish it. Show it at the highest level that they can punish anyone on the pitch. If we do a good job in containing in transition, we can't hit it. Even if we approach this game, Ghana has some tools in there and could panic if they are not fully concentrated 100%. I'm not sitting expecting us to beat England, but I think what it takes to compete. And for regardless of the result, I'm looking at genuinely believe that these guys can put out a performance and be proud of too.
Okay.
And if that's enough, then maybe we can get a result.
Thank you. Then a crying thing. Faisal, my final question to you is: how much of a psychological advantage would a positive result against England give this team ahead of the last group game against Croatia?
Oof, I think the players should be flying over the moon if that happens. And
Faisal, you should be a commentator, you know.
You know what? I think you were the 20th person to say it. I'm counting.
Oh,
So I'm
really?
actually thinking about that as a color commentator.
You should be a
Passion,
color
though.
commentator.
Okay, all right. I give you my mandate to go look for the contract.
I think
But why
Bella
do you
can
say
do
that?
that for you
Why
with
do you,
ease.
let me ask you. Why do you say that? Why?
Well, I think the way you play with words, it's incredible. I really like it. It's really good. If you're a color commentator, you will give people so much joy listening to you. Actually.
Okay. Now I think I need to be serious. Danny K, we've got some business now. So, but anyways, no. I think this would be if that happens. Geesh, the Black Stars can even move mountains. I'll give you another one there. After 3 points, and look, let's not. I will save the rest.
Okay. Okay.
But look, for me going into this game, I just want them to compete. I just want them to step out there and give it all. Right? I don't care about the results. Of course, we know what we want. A point would be great to have, but above all, I just want to see a team out there to compete. Just give it all out, leave it on the field, 90 minutes, and let the results take care of itself. That's all I'm looking forward to. It's great that we got 3 points from the Panama game. So if our confidence was 25% at a time, now we should be maybe at 50%, right?
Okay.
Because you've gotten good results.
Okay.
And then if you get, one out of this, slowly you start to build. Football is about momentum, right? And once it starts and you're gaining slowly, before you know, you could be flying without even realizing you're flying.
Okay.
That's how the game goes. So come on, compete, give it all for 90 minutes, and then let the results take care of itself.
Thank you very much, Faisal Chifsa. It's a FIFA high performance analyst. Daniel Cranton is with Joy Sports, currently in the States, covering the tournament for the multimedia group. And earlier we heard former Black Stars players, Emmanuel Ajiman-Bedu, as well as Augustine Hemfo, joining us for today's edition of Joy Sports Link, as well as Samuel Ekoapia, who is with us here at the multimedia group. It's been a pleasure coming your way with this edition. Join us tonight for Cote d'Ivoire versus Germany at 8 p.m. We start the build-up at 6:30 p.m. on Joy Prime. Thank you very much. Up next is Showbiz A to Z.
Joy 99.